Looking at this image of Earth from space, it appears completely serene. But right now, at the equator, the ground beneath your feet is rotating at over 1,000 miles an hour. We don't feel a thing, because the rock, the oceans, and the atmosphere are all moving together in perfect unison. But what happens if the solid crust of the planet suddenly slams on the brakes? This animation shows the immediate kinetic nightmare, Newton's law of inertia. The bedrock stops, but everything fluid retains its momentum. The oceans and the atmosphere keep tearing east at supersonic speeds. Anything not firmly anchored deep into the Earth's crust instantly becomes a high-speed projectile. Buildings, trees, topsoil, and people are swept away in a fraction of a second. The oceans carry immense mass and momentum. Without the ocean floor moving beneath them, that water surges violently over the continents as miles-high mega tsunamis, scouring the landmasses clean. Within the first few minutes, the sudden loss of planetary momentum effectively sterilizes the surface of all human infrastructure. Even if you could survive the water, the atmosphere is still racing over the stationary ground at 1,000 miles an hour. That creates unbelievable aerodynamic drag. The friction between the stationary crust and the supersonic air generates immense heat. It is enough to boil the remaining surface water and ignite global firestorms across whatever land is left exposed. Surviving the initial kinetic shock is impossible. The air we breathe simply becomes a weapon of mass destruction. Fast forward a few days. The supersonic winds finally die down and gravity reasserts control. Now, the planet faces the loss of centrifugal force. Earth's spin actively pushes water outward, stacking oceans into an 8-kilometer deep equatorial bulge. When spin stops, gravity pulls that massive volume downhill toward the poles. The equator runs dry, forming one continuous equatorial landmass, while two polar oceans swallow North America, Europe, and Antarctica. The familiar shape of our continents is an illusion, sustained entirely by the physics of rotation. The rock beneath us also relied on that spin. Earth is slightly flattened at the poles, but without rotation, the crust attempts to crush itself into a perfect sphere, triggering global mega-earthquakes and massive volcanic eruptions as the tectonic plates buckle. As the dust settles, the climate timeline takes over. Without axial spin, a single day and night cycle now lasts an entire year, as the stationary Earth slowly orbits the Sun. The sun-facing side endures 6 uninterrupted months of boiling heat, while the dark hemisphere freezes solid under a 6-month night. We also lose the Coriolis effect, the force that curves our winds and creates complex weather patterns. Our chaotic, life-giving storms vanish, replaced by simple, extreme wind loops blowing directly from the boiling equator to the freezing poles. Without the rhythm of a 24-hour spin to distribute heat, the global climate engine permanently breaks. Look thousands of years into the future, and the deepest problem lies nearly 2,000 miles below the crushed crust, in the molten iron of the outer core. This diagram of the core shows the geodynamo in action. Earth's rotation swirls the liquid iron, generating electrical currents that project a protective magnetic shield. But as the iron slows, the currents die. The shield flickers, fades, and completely collapses. The Earth is now totally exposed to the constant, brutal bombardment of deadly solar winds from the sun. The spin of the planet is the sole power source for the invisible armor that protects our atmosphere from deep space. Without that shield, the solar wind physically knocks oxygen and nitrogen molecules away into the void. Over millions of years, this process, called atmospheric sputtering, strips the planet of its air. Look at this image of the Martian surface. Mars lost its magnetic field long ago. Solar wind stripped its atmosphere, leaving a cold, dead world. Earth meets the exact same fate. It becomes a barren, irradiated, airless desert, trapped in a stationary orbit around the sun. We measure our lives by the sun rising and setting, but that silent spin is the fragile engine of all terrestrial life, holding the oceans in place, keeping the air breathable, and preventing a planetary tomb.